Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to CodeBlaque Facts. You guys know I love you and appreciate you. So today we're going to talk about the Chitterling circuit, the chitlin circuit. And the reason why I call it the chitlin circuit is because I believe there are certain requirements that are required of Black people before they are placed and are propped up to represent the Black collective or represent, a portion in Black society. I believe that before you are placed on the big screen or in politics or some type of leader of an organization or whatever, there is a check that is done, and there are three things that you have to have when they screen you. One, you have to be a supporter of the LGBTQ community. Two, you have to be a coon, or somebody who is a coon. Basically, you have a certain type of ideology that they like, and they'll take you and prop you up. And then lastly, there has to be an interracial element. You have to sleep and or date interracially. Those are the three main things that I think they scan for when they prop up certain Black people to represent the collective or a portion within Black society, or to even place you on the big screen. So I call it the Chitterling circuit because they'll prop these Black people up. They will get the Black people to support these people, whether it's a rapper, whether it's a movie star, a sports figure, whomever. They'll prop these people up. They'll get Black people to support these people heavily, right? And then all the while, these people are doing little things that undermine Black empowerment or undermine, Black people, Black society, some type of way. All right. So this brings me to our girl, the lead actress that played in Queen and Slim. Her name is Jodie Turner-Smith. And as you guys can see the article on the screen, if there was an article written basically saying that she's a whole wife. She married her boyfriend, actor Joshua Jackson, he played in I forget some of the shows that he played in, but it was a while back in Dawson's Creek, and there was some other shows he played in. But she married this guy, and then she is allegedly pregnant, according to this particular article. So this article hit the scene. It went viral. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of conversations were being had. And so now I want to say this, guys. Like, look, if you are Black and you are still surprised when you see the Black people, men or women, who date interracially or marry or sex interracially, something is wrong with you. Like, we got to stop being surprised. This is 2019. We're going into 2020. Like, this has been the MO for at least the last 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Where we've actually started taking notice of it. So we got to stop being surprised and stop allowing things like this to go viral. To me, and I wasn't even going to talk about this because I don't care. Like, I just really don't care. But I said, you know what? I have to. Because, I will admit, some years back, I did care. Like, when I would see, Black men who date out or Black women who dated out, I would care. I would have a little comment to say. But then I started recognizing the MO, right? The three requirements that Black people who are propped up to represent Black people or to speak on the behalf of Black people or to play in a movie or, whatever. I started recognizing the MO. They're either LGBTQ supporter, they date intersex or marry interracially, or they're a coon, which means they have a certain ideology that they like. And I personally believe that they scan over these people's life. They scan their social media. They do. So this to me was all set up I wouldn't be surprised if she has another big movie coming out and this was set up to kind of throw her back out and make her relevant again. Or I don't know, but I just really think this was all set up. This was by design because, like, who cares, right? But because, this article came out, it hit the scene. A lot of people started digging into her past and they dug up some of her old tweets that I'm going to read. One of them says, the first men to make me feel beautiful were white men. Sad, but true. Sometimes black men would say I was pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Okay, this is two part. One part is when she says the first men to make me feel beautiful were white men. My thing is like, where were your people? Like, you mean to tell me either your parents had you in environments where you were not appreciated and or acknowledged, or like, where were your people? Like, where were your father, your brothers, your cousins? Because if we leave it up to non-black people to validate our beauty and to validate our attractiveness, then we are going to be sadly mistaken, because we know for a fact that black women, black people in particular, have never been the standard of beauty ever. Not in the Asian community, not in the Latino community, not in the white community, not in the Arab community, not in any community. We have never been the standard of beauty. So to think that you can look to another group of people for validation and to make you feel beautiful is sad to me. It's really sad. And then to think that, I can't even fathom little black girls not being in environments and protected by their parents and fathers where they are, placing them in environments where these little girls are being validated for being, attractive and beautiful. And, I can't even fathom little girls like having to seek, validation from other groups. So, when that happens, that's going to cause a lot of self-esteem issues. And, and it just from my own experience, like my first, the first people that told me that I was attractive or beautiful were my family members, my dad, my mom, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins. Like, no. So that to me is like, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if she meant this as in like maybe men that she dated, like maybe the first men she dated. I'm not for sure. But if she's talking about the first men in life, I just can't even imagine a parent who does not protect their child, particularly a black, dark skinned child growing up in America, knowing how, society is with black people in general, and then not placing them in like when I was growing up, I was on dance teams, little where, all the little black girls, we on dance teams. I was a cheerleader in the little cheerleader groups and step teams and all different types of where it was other black girls that I could see myself in, and we were esteemed cute, beautiful. So I just can't even the sports teams. I played all sports growing up. So that's just sad, but hey. And then the second half is sad but true. Sometimes black men would say I was pretty for a dark skinned girl. Now I will say this: colorism is very real in the black community. I cannot and will not speak on behalf of dark skinned people or women because I am not a dark skinned woman. I am a brown skinned woman. So I'm not gonna even try to play or act like I even know what it's like to be dark skinned. However, I can say this: colorism is real. We know for a fact that there's always been issues with skin tone. This is why the black community, we got 1,000,002 names for all different shades of brown. We the only group that do that. All the other groups, they don't do that. Either you're lighter or you're darker. That's it. It ain't no mocha chocolate, mocha latte, caramel, brown, yellow bone, And then I remember back in the day, with the hip hop videos and the rap videos, it was all light skinned women. It was all yellow bones. Every other lyric you heard was a yellow bone and a light skin and all this kind of stuff. And then I remember in the 2000s, it was about Latinos. There was a lot of in those videos. There were a lot of Latino presence in a lot of rap and hip hop videos. And so, you know, for me, it's just like, we know colorism exists. We know, you know, the skin tone and all that has been an issue in the Black community. That's a fact. That's a fact that can be proven. It's a straight up fact. Now, when I was in college, I had two roommates. Both of them were dark skinned women. And we did have conversations about people telling them, men and women, that, oh, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, or you're pretty to be dark. Now, they did state that. So I can't say that this was never told to her. I don't know, but I can say I've heard that happen in by way of my roommates, and one of them being my very best friend that I met in elementary school. And mind you, we did go to an HBCU. So, and the HBCU, it wasn't no, it was all black, 99% black. And, you know, back when we were going there. And it wasn't no people from, you know, no other groups of people. It was American blacks there. Um, you know, as the majority. And so, you know, again, I can't say that I've ever heard that with my own two ears, but I have sat down and had conversations about this particular comment with that they experienced. So I do think that that could possibly be true. Why I Date White Men, a dark girl's autobiography. So clearly she's stating she loves white men. She's esteeming white men. Um, Only interested in these types of white boys, and I'm assuming it's probably a whole lot of different white boys or whatever. But again, this is speaking to how she's always loved white men. She's always esteemed them. She's always praised them. Fact, black women are stunning. Fact, Asian men are fire. Again, she's esteeming non-black men. She's basically, you know, putting out there her preference and excuse me, putting out there her preference and you know, the man that she likes and desires, and you know, whatever. The white man was the first to yam me out. These things stay with you for a long time. Now, yam means to orally satisfy her. Now, I want to say this: if all it takes is for someone to orally satisfy you, and then you're sold to them forever, and you're singing their praises forever, to me that's very sad and very low. And the only reason why I say this is because, I mean, these days you can get all kind of raunchy sex from wherever. Like, there are all kind of chat rooms, and just it's unreal. I mean, you got people having all kind of fetish sex with all different types of fetishes, and you got shows on TV that's showing all this kind of stuff. And so if that's all it takes, baby, you can find that in any gutter. So if that's all it takes for you to be sold for life, singing the white man's praise, to me that's a very low, very short sell. But hey, to each his own. So she tweeted these things, and you know, a lot of black men in particular, they were started going in on her, because of course, if that's all you see, and then you know they're talking about, oh well, she's singing the white man's praise, and look, she's been, you know, been down with them for forever. And so this is one of they went to her post, um, and into under her post, and basically, I guess they started calling her bed wench. And from my understanding, they were not calling her a bed wench based on her sleeping or marrying a white man. They were calling her a bed wench based on her celebrating non-black men and esteeming non-black men over her own, from what I understand. And so, you know, so this was days ago, but not too long ago, they named Tariq Nasheed as um, being upset that she was married to a white man. And so, you guys, now I can say this. I did watch the broadcast where Tariq was talking about Jodie, and he did not call her a bad wench based on her marrying a white man. It was based on her history, the tweets, and the celebration and the esteem. So I guess those things led him to believe that she's a possible bed wench. And, that's his prerogative. If that's what he wants to believe, then so be it. My thing is, I still feel like, why is this even news? Like, why do we care? Why? So I came up with a list of people, um, and I'm just gonna go through the list real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Halle Berry, she played in the movie Queen. She played in the movie Babs and Boomerang and Strictly Business. All of those movies were, black movies dedicated to black people, a black audience. And Halle Berry has always slept white. Well, you guys know that. Babs in particular, I mean, that it don't get no more ghetto than that. She played a very ghetto character, and again, that was a black movie, made for black people, a black audience, and you know, um, Halle Berry was sleeping white the entire time. Cuba Gooding Jr. in Boys in the Hood, you guys know that's a classic. Boys in the Hood is a classic. Cuba Gooding Jr. has always slept white, always. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes played in the another classic, New Jack City, and White Man Can't Jump. And again, Wesley Snipes has always slept non-black women. Michael B. Jordan, he is a black. He played in Black Panther. Now you guys know Michael B. Jordan. Um, Compared to the other people, the other men and women that I just named, he's fairly new, but he played in the movie Black Panther. And Michael B. Jordan, you guys know he loves white women. Everybody know that. So he plays in these black movies, gets black support, sleeps white, just like Wesley, just like Cuba Gooding Jr., just like Halle Berry. Nat Parker is another one. He played a revolutionary character, Nat Turner, and he's always said white. I mean, he had the issue in college with the white woman, and then now he's married to a white woman. Okay, Kanye West. He had even lyrics in his one of his songs about when you get on you marry a white girl or something like that, and he did exactly what his lyrics said. Omari Hardwick. He's the guy that plays in Power. His name is Ghost or St. Patrick, Ghost St. Patrick or whatever. And he is married to a white woman. He's been married to this woman for quite some time. They've been together for quite some time. And his support has been by that of black people. Eartha Kitt is another one. Now I put Eartha Kitt on here because this just goes to show how far back, the requirements of people to be on the big screen have been where they have to be sleep interracially before they even put them on the big screen. Because Eartha Kitt is old school, old school. And I have nothing but respect for Eartha Kitt. But baby, Eartha Kitt married white. She slept white and she was in a ton of black movies back in the day. Grace Jones, Eve. You guys know the rapper Eve. Eve back in the day had straight up black music, and again, she married a white man. She sleeps white. How Whoopi Goldberg is another one. She got on through comedy, black audience, went mainstream, married white, sleep white. Tay Diggs and How Stella Got a Groove Back. So again, the list goes on and on and on about the list goes on, and I find it quite interesting because when we see black people who date out, whether it's a man or a woman, I feel like they always have to have some type of explanation or explain why they're dating out. You don't see white women who date black men get on camera or get on social media and explain why they date black men. You don't see that. You don't see Asian women who date black men or sleep with black men do that. You don't see Even Latino women, you don't see that. They don't do that. The only people who do that is us, black people, black men, black women. We got to let the whole world know that, oh, I'm sleeping non-black because I was teased, because, black men, black women didn't want, whatever the case may be. We're the only ones that feel like we have to explain that. So to me, I don't understand it. But those are my thoughts, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. You guys take care, and I will catch you next time. Good night.